Hey there! Did you know we have a Patreon? You can get early access to all of our content with any amount pledge. Consider it and spread the word. Now on to the show. Spoiler warning. This podcast will spoil elements from both the gameplay and story for XCOM. Welcome, guys, and welcome to another episode of Why We Love. Where we talk about a certain game or franchise and we say why we like it and just how it impacted our lives in any which way or things that we remember about it. Today, we're going to be talking about XCOM, a game that is honestly my favorite strategy, tactical game to date. I have a soft spot for other games that we're probably gonna talk in this podcast, but XCOM is honestly from the last years the one that I really enjoy playing, and we're gonna be talking about the first one because not all in this panel of guests, and neither have I played the second XCOM, even though we really want to. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the first XCOM. My name is Jorge Casillas. I'm just a fan of the game. With me, I have Carlos Rodriguez, who is also a fan of the game. And Jorge Cotto, who you know.
Hello.
Both of these guys are returning guests, so you know who they are. but they also like XCOM. So yeah, let's talk about it, guys.
But they love me specifically. They know all of us, but they love me.
We're gonna make a poll and rank people, rank the guests eventually. Let's talk about the game, guys. I really love this game. I've always heard about XCOM before I played it the first time, and people just sang so many praises about it. I know that before the newest version of XCOM, the only way you could play it was in the PC really old version. I'm not quite sure. Did you guys play the really old version of XCOM?
No,
I was not able to.
Yeah,
actually, I didn't. I didn't know it was an old. Honestly, the first time I heard about XCOM, and I apologize if I'm being blasphemous right now, but the first time I heard about XCOM, I had my first job, so I had fairly a small amount of income coming that I could go every 2 or 3 weeks to GameStop or a game shop and look at used games, and I always saw XCOM, and then I remember that I was talking to you, Gabriel, going hey man, give me a list of cool games, I'm in the store right now, I haven't played anything in a while, and then I just mentioned to you XCOM, and you were like, oh no, get XCOM. What? Which one? Enemy Within or Unknown Enemy? No. Get both. It's the same game. Get both. Doesn't matter. Just get XCOM. And I would go oh well, okay then. I'm getting XCOM, I guess. And
you hear that, XCOM guys? Firaxis, I think, right? Those are the guys that
Firaxis.
I need a paycheck for that.
Civilization.
I made someone buy the game, so yeah. I can expect it.
Yeah, so
that in my mail.
So yeah, you should give him a commission about that. But no, so yeah, I bought XCOM, and holy crap, I love the game. You were not wrong. It's kind of like playing Risk on steroids.
That's
the
an
best
interesting
way
of
that I
saying
could.
it,
Yeah, because again, I really got into Risk with Manuel that year. We would just if we weren't playing FIFA, we were playing Risk, with buddies,
Okay.
and then like when I start playing XCOM, I go like, oh my god, I'm playing Risk right now, but in a kind of in the, like not so grandiose level of conquering the world, but I have to save it with like a smaller troops.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and then like it wasn't until we agreed to make this podcast that I started doing a little bit more research on the game. I go like, oh, so XCOM is like an old franchise. Like there's PC games of XCOM. Like, oh, cool. Like, didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like the first time I heard of it was through other podcasts and other people that know way more about games than I do, about just really awesome games. And when the news about this new version of the game started to come out, everybody was kind of flipping out in those circles, and they were kind of saying, I can't wait to play this awesome game. This was a really amazing game from that era and at that point. And I know it's kind of really, really like archaic at the moment. If you play it right now, you would rather play this version in every way, because it's not bad. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's really good still, but this version is just so much better in everything. And I know that people really, really liked the new and improved version that they made. So I went to play it and to get it because of the hype that surrounded the news about the game and all the stuff. And this is one of the first times where I kind of go with, I don't know much about the game, I don't know much about how it plays, let me just buy it, right? And I bought it, and it was amazing. Like the experience was amazing. I really, I I like almost everything about the game and about what the point of the game was. And coming from like a past that had to do with Final Fantasy Tactics and games like that I really, really like.
Yeah.
Like this version it's like that, but just way more dynamic and felt like just so different in that sense. But different enough, but like also kind of similar. And so it didn't feel completely alien to me. And I don't know. We're gonna talk about more specifics later on, but I think that one of the things that kind of made me really love the game was the fact that all the hype was true for the game. Like you should be hyped for this game because it's a really good game, and not many games do that. Like sometimes when I see a lot of hype for a game, I get it, I play it, and then I'm like, I mean, it's good. This was one of the first ones where I was like, oh no, it's as good as people say. And that's kind of what, yeah, like that surprised me. Like the fact that I kept telling people about the game and that they should buy it is testament of that. But Carlo, what was something that you really enjoyed about the game when you played it? Or at least, did you know what you were like gonna experience when you bought it?
I had a vague notion of what I was going to experience because my friends had purchased it, and they told me how awesome it was, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Okay. But I really love the whole two different game modes, the micromanagement aspect, and also how much you get into the characters, your soldiers that you end up creating, you named them probably like after your friends or whatnot. And it's like if they die, you're like, no, that did not just happen.
Yeah.
Oh god, no, dude, that is. It's funny because this isn't like a really voice acted game. It's not a character driven game, but
exactly.
But still, like you get your soldiers and you weirdly get attached to them.
Yeah.
And that's true. Like if they die, I go like, no, reload that save. Shenanigans! I call shenanigans!
Yeah, and if you're playing the hard
God.
mode, you have no chance. So you have to say
Yeah.
goodbye. So that's even worse.
Yeah, like I'm not that big of a glutton for punishment. Like,
Yeah, no,
no, for
definitely.
real. So
Yeah.
every time I see like normal, I'll admit it. I have no shame in saying this. Every time I see normal mode or hard mode, I go regular. Like I don't want to like destroy my controller or my TV or like get that frustrated with a game.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of like we can talk about that, right? Like the characters and the fact that there are basically no characters apart from the main cast that you don't really play with, like
Yeah.
the general and the
The
scientists
doctor, the
and
engineer, yeah.
yeah, and we're gonna talk about that later because I really like the fact that even though, of course, there are many like fantasy elements to the game, uh, this is the first time where I feel in a game that they made me understand how valuable scientists and engineers are for the whole system to work. Like usually in other games of like conquest or fighting or wars, it's always like military, and just get better weapons and better stuff. But in this case, like when sometimes they told you there are three attacks happening right at the same time, and each one gives you a different reward. Where one gives you money, one gives you scientists, and one gives you engineers, and then
Yeah.
you have to kind of decide which one you want to go help. But then each of the missions is maybe harder or easier, and maybe there is in a place that you have to really help because and I'm getting kind of ahead of myself because there are so many things to talk about, all the mechanics that are in the game,
Definitely.
and that's not the point I wanted to make right now. My point was that the fact that you like the characters that you use in the game were characters that you had to build from being rookies to being like generals and colonels and whatever. I don't remember right now what were the actual titles of the game. But the fact that you spend so much time making them and they had their and of course this is in later versions or even DLC. I'm not sure if it's like that. But the fact that sometimes they came from different countries, they talked with the language of that country, and just that you could customize them or they came customized to you right as a rookie. Sometimes you had one that had a like glasses on or a hat, and you remembered them by that. And even if
Yeah.
you didn't name them, like you didn't change them to be like a friend of yours or someone that you care about, you got attached to them, as you guys said. And that's where the kind of double-edged sword comes in a way of this game to me, because as you said, Jorge, doing something awesome with one of those characters felt so rewarding to you. Like you were able to do a flawless mission and keep them all alive and just prepare them so amazingly. Like you gave one of them the rappel thing, and he a sniper or something, and you kept the sniper back, but you had the team member vision thing. Like I don't remember what it's called, but the thing that they could see what other members of the team could see, and you could shoot stuff from there. And the fact that you worked so well with the team and you made them all work together, and then completing that mission felt so good. But when you, as you said, you kind of charged in a little bit, because in this game that if you charge somewhere with a character, like just blindly, you're gonna lose that character. Unless you are
Oh yeah, for sure.
super prepared and to again, the game kind of evolves with you, so you're almost never really that you don't really have that much of an advantage always. Like the aliens are always a threat, at least for the most part of the game. Maybe at the end you're kind of overpowered or something, but like for most of the game you are in a challenging environment with the aliens. And losing one of those characters in one of those battles, and if it's one of the characters that you like you started with or something, and or as you said, Carlo, like you named that character for someone, you wanted to destroy the television and just destroy the system and never play the game again.
Oh my god, that is so true.
I remember that so vividly. That happened to me, and that's one of the reasons why I never name the characters that I made for people that I know, because it just felt so bad. Like I remember, because for example in Tactics, I used to name the characters for friends of mine, and I asked them, "What do you want to be?" And I created the characters for what they wanted to be.
I remember that when we were kids, you did that.
Yeah,
like
so
we were. I think we were in elementary, and you were like, "Hey, what do you want to be? Like, you want to be like?" I was like, "What are the classes?" And you're like, "Oh, you get to be this dude and that dude and this dude." And I'm like, "Yeah, oh wow, cool."
So in that game, I feel like I have a little bit more of control over. I mean, it could still happen. Like one of the characters could die, but I felt like I have more control because I had Phoenix Downs and all that stuff. In this game, you don't even get a Phoenix Down sometimes. Like sometimes the character is dead. like if the health goes from whatever they have to 0, you sometimes don't even get a revive option or a stabilize option. They're dead, and you just have to accept it.
Yep.
And what I basically did was I kind of created video game characters in the game, and kind of like I had Cloud, I had Wesker, I had... Oh no, actually what I did was I created characters from other zombie-like games and then put them in the game. And those were kind of like my main characters, and I kind of build them as they... Like for example, Wesker always was a sniper, but you know that as a sniper you could evolve into like really sniper or handgun stuff too. Like the pistol, like the normal pistol, you could upgrade it and you could have more power and all that stuff. So for my Wesker character, I kind of made him have that, because in Resident Evil he has like a really awesome handgun, and I don't know, it just felt so amazing to be able to do that. But as you said, when you lose the characters, it's just so painful. And yeah, and I guess we'll talk about that eventually, like the difficulty of the game, because, and I have to mention it, the 99% thing. When they tell you, yeah, it's 99% success,
that is extremely
and you miss. Sometimes I have to admit, I sometimes stop playing the game at that point and just walk away. But I think it's a testament to how good the game is. The fact that even though those things did happen, I always came back to play it again, and I always wanted to, even if I lost, like you were saying, Carlo, like before the podcast, that you were almost losing, like the game, the whole game.
Yeah.
Even if you lost, I know that somewhere in your mind you were kind of thinking about what you could have done better, so that you could try it again.
You didn't have to mention that in the podcast.
Sorry. I mean, that never happened to me. I mean, like I was perfect all the time.
No, Carlos, don't worry. It happens to all dudes at some point in their life. It happens to everyone, or so I hear.
We need to do a PSA for this or something.
I just like, when we talk about the difficulty of the game, like I can't help but think of all the Dark Souls fans going like,
oh yeah,
going like noobs.
Noobs.
I don't know. No, we're not comparing the two games now. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, like I could argue that actually, but yeah, but I understand what you mean. But I think that's kind of like some people will probably say I really like the difficulty, and
yeah, dude,
yeah, like the difficulty for me, it was kind of ridiculous at some points, but I think it's what made. So sometimes games kind of they try to make the game easier so that you have a better just a free have fun with the game, right? Like rather than having to think. But I think that the difficulty of this game, at least for the most part, and you kind of understood that the game was difficult from the get go, even in normal, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Made you really understand that what you said. It's kind of a chess like thing. It's kind of like a risk type thing. Like you really need to think about every single thing that's going on. And we haven't even talked about the nations and keeping them happy with you. And we haven't even talked about capturing the freaking aliens. Because when I first started playing the game, I was like, oh, so I can kill most of these guys with a grenade. And it was so amazing because it felt really good to just blow them up. And then they told me, yeah, so the game is not going to progress until you capture these guys.
Not even that. Not even if you don't capture. They went like, yeah, please don't use grenades because we kind of like need the resources. Like if you kill them and bring back the bodies, we can like farm them for organs and like for technology and all that stuff. And you're like, but I have a bazooka. But I have a grenade. And you're telling me not to. You're giving me a big red button, and you're telling me not to press the button. Like I want to press the button.
Yeah,
I want to blow him up. Why are you talking about? I want to.
And I remember the first time I had to like do that to a berserker, and I was like, "How? What? Like,
I don't even get close enough for that."
Yeah, like the point of a berserker is to stay away. You want me to go to him and be near him, so if I fail, he can just kill me. And
oh yeah, because that's another one. Like you may be a sniper. You may have like all the scopes and all like everything upgraded. There is still like it's still a flip coin. You're still flipping a coin to see if you can hit him.
Yeah,
that's one of the most frustrating parts of that thing. So you aren't even guaranteed a hit. It doesn't matter how good you are. Like you can be like the most brilliant tactician ever. You could have everyone fully upgraded, fully customized. It doesn't matter. You're still flipping a coin.
Yeah.
And oh my god, was it frustrating!
It was frustrating, but again, like the good type of frustrating, I guess, in my case, because it kind of mimics real life.
Yes.
Even if you're an amazing shot or like an amazing soldier or whatever, like you have your bad days, and sometimes in the game you had that really bad day, and you have to consider: do I quit the mission? Do I like retreat? Right? And you never want to because it's not cool to retreat, and there are many consequences to doing it. But you want to keep those characters alive, and you have to kind of understand the situation. Like sometimes you go to a mission and you say, this mission is gonna be like really normal and easy.
Easy peasy.
And you go and then you go like so I wanted to make it even easier, right? I go with my whole like the amazing squad, like the A team, like the best of the best, and then you lose that team, and you are left with rookies because if you haven't created a B team at that point, you're
saved screwed. In a while. That's the other one. Like if you don't have a B team or if you haven't saved in a while, you're screwed.
Yeah. But for example, like if you're playing the hard mode that you can't save, you
can't save in hard mode.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't know if in the hard mode you can save, but I know there's some mode that you can't save, like the hardcore mode or something.
Why?
Because that's the hardcore mode. Like you can't save. Like the game saves for you, but for example, if somebody
it's
dies,
only when you're done with the mission.
No. But at like you know the autosave, right? Like you have an autosave like for default. You can save on your own, but the game saves for you. So the game saves everything that you do. So for example, if you were in a mission and somebody died, it's saved. So if you go, if you load back, that person's dead.
Yeah, it'll have that. Yeah.
So
Oh my god.
Oh man.
you have no control over where you like. You can go, like you're gonna go back to the last thing that you did, and the last thing that happened, no matter what you do. And if stuff happens, and you have to deal with it.
Ellie, why would you do that to yourself?
I tried it once. I lost, of
Honestly.
course. But I know that there are people that actually like do that, and they like beat the game. Those people are like just beyond what I feel like a human can normally do. Because it's just, I mean, there are things that we can talk about, but Carlo, like, I know that you kind of want to mention it because I know you've mentioned it to me before, but the whole thing with and I really love that part, but I want to know what you think about that. Like the whole keeping the different places of the world, like the countries of the world happy.
Oh yeah, and that was really like tough because
Yeah.
you had to do like certain missions that were like go according to depending on which country you go to, no,
Yeah.
and to defend them, and it's there's always a possibility that you lose a country who will stop supporting you, and then you'll lose a little bit of funding, and then it'll be tougher to be able to research new weapons and whatnot that can end up being your downfall.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah, and I always remember like the example that I did before, that you had 3 missions to choose from, and
Yeah.
it's just interesting how the game kind of gets more complicated as it goes on, because at some point you may need an engineer or scientist, and then maybe you don't need that much money, right? But then the mission that gives you money is in a place that is red, because there are like different just different colors for how bad the situation is in a certain country.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
How
maybe
much
the
panic
place
there
is
is.
red, right? And the other places are not red; they're green. And so you run the risk of losing that country if you don't go there. But at the same time, by going there, you don't get the engineers and scientists that you need to keep going forward and get better. So you have to basically decide: do I really need that country? Do I just leave them to their own, and I lose that funding and lose whatever they give me?
Yep.
And also you kind of lose because there's a thing, of course, that if you get all the countries in a certain area, you get like a extra bonus. So you're also kind of saying goodbye to that bonus, which are usually really amazing. Or then I go to other places, I get the scientist, and like risk that, or go there and then lose those scientists and engineers that you might have needed to for the next mission, kind of be better in every way, right? So yeah, that's I love that, because you could never say you won. Like you never, there wasn't really like the right answer. Never, like there was never like, okay, so this is the one that you should do. It was always your choice, and you had to decide, like, from your play style and what you were trying to do. This is the one I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna risk everything else. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I that's something that I really, really enjoyed about the game.
Yeah. And also I really enjoyed the level designs, like the placement of all the abandoned cars or buses and the bushes. They were all
Because if the aliens didn't kick
really
you out,
nice.
the surroundings would definitely.
Yeah.
Because it could have been like okay aliens, but then the positioning that they have like would be completely shielded by this wall, and you would have to like circle it around. And by the time you got there, you got separated from your squad.
Yeah.
So, God damn, this game just kicked my ass so many times.
and the exploding
And
stuff,
what?
like
And,
Like,
why do I like this? Why do I like this game? Honestly,
why do we like this game? I think that's how good the game is. The fact that even though it's so abusive to us many
this is a
times,
horrible relationship, man. This isn't healthy.
It kind of is. Yeah,
it's not healthy at all. but damn it, I love it. I still love this game for some reason. Like it's.
I think one of the things is
because again, like I bought this game taking your word for it, right? And
I want you to suffer.
No, and thank you. I love you all the more for it. But here's the thing: like I plugged this game in, I never heard what XCOM was. Honestly, I didn't know what I was expecting. I put it in, and then like I just think it's gonna be like another. Oh, so Gabriel gave me a first-person shooter. Like that is so not like him at all. Because it's soldiers versus alien. I'm like, okay, and then the game starts, and it's tactics. It's like you have to build your base, you have to like manage resources, and I'm like, okay, then I can get into this.
Yeah.
And then it's like the tactical aspect of the fights, and I'm like, I'm sold. I'm take my money. You already take it again. I'll buy it again. This game is good. I will buy this game again. I will get 3 copies. I don't care.
Yeah.
But and then like with the soldiers, like I remember like this thing that I did. Since there weren't any, like I don't think there were any Puerto Rican soldiers. I really never got any.
No, I don't.
So I didn't. I never named them for my friends and family. But like I said earlier, I do love FIFA. So I would name them after players. And depending on what player I got, that's the role they play. For example, if I got an Argentinian, Lionel Messi, and he would be a sniper. If I got a Brazilian, he's Marcelo, and he's a defender. He's going to be a tank. If I got a German, that's Mesut Ozil, and he's rifleman because he's an assist. And like that's except with the Canadians. With the Canadians, I named them after wrestlers. I had a Chris Jericho and like a Bret Hart. Yeah, because I don't think that there are Canadian players on my favorite team. So like I really couldn't make it up. But if I got a Canadian, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I love wrestling. So let's name them after these guys.
You heard it here first. Canada, Jorge hates you.
I know. Oh no! Do not say that. Otherwise, I called a Canadian soldier Bret Hart. Do you think they would hate me if I named a Canadian soldier Bret Hart? Yeah, he is the pride and joy of Canada. So pride and joy. Hart Foundation forever. Anyway.
Did they all survive? Like all your soldiers survive, or?
No, I lost a couple, but I made sure that the ones that I lose weren't my favorite ones. I made sure that I never had an A team. So I would always have like 2 good players or 3 good soldiers, and then the other 3 would be like I always had a rookie because I was always developing. Because in case if I lost one, then I would have someone not lagging too far behind. I would always have an okay soldier. Yeah. So I would make sure that I had like at least 3 kick-ass soldiers, 2 that were okay, and then 1 that was a rookie. And that's the way that I progressed through the game, and it took me a long time. But here's the thing: I'm a really patient. I'm sort of patient. So
that's good. Let's take it down a notch. I'm sort of
sort of. I will lose my temper on a couple of occasions, but like, so I wasn't. As soon as when I figured out this game was about tactics and stuff like that, I went like, I am in no rush to finish this game. Therefore, I will take my sweet time developing my soldiers because I know that in the end, these are the guys that I kind of need. So. The battle part I had that on lockdown. I had that part on lockdown. If I lost a soldier, fine. I had I had backups. But when having all your nations happy it didn't matter what I did. I always lost a nation. So, and I did all the tricks. I would leave, like, I would deploy satellites at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So that way, like, the angry countries would have coverage by the end of the month, and they would be happy. I would always take the mission for the panicky. Like, I didn't have that. I didn't have your conscious your crisis of conscience, Gabriel. Like I didn't care if I got engineers or not. If that police was unhappy, that's where I'm going. I'm not losing this country. But it didn't matter. I still lost countries, and like, my first playthrough, I lost like 3 countries, and at that point I went like, you know what? No, I'm starting again. My second playthrough, I lost a country, and I'm not gonna say which country because I was kind of okay with losing that country, and if we have any listeners from that country, I don't want to be, but I was kind of okay with losing that country, and yeah, I just feel like I could never beat this game. That's the thing. I don't think that I could ever, like, fully beat this game, man. Why do I love this game, man? Why?
But like, for me, I think that the what made me love the game, and it's something that I haven't mentioned to this point, but just the world building of the game, how the fact that you're fighting aliens, and it kind of goes through the whole like the little green dude type of UFO alien, that, like, the Greys, as they say.
The sectoids.
Yeah, I mean, called sectoids, right, in the game, but in the
Sectoids, yeah.
like in normal life, like, people know them as Greys or whatever. And the fact that they kind of took that and went with that and created the game about, so let's say that the Greys are actually the aliens that are coming to enslave us or kill us, and then created a lot of aliens like surrounding that idea. I think that's kind of why people like the game. I think is the fact that everything that happens in the game is congruent with that idea, right? The idea that those are the aliens that we're dealing with. The spaceships are kind of shaped in a way that seems like the UFOs that we understand, and it just plays with our almost horror movie-esque fear of those aliens and getting abducted and yeah, all those things, and with that you join the whole war aspect and how the military will deal with that. And I honestly understand the reason why I mentioned before the engineers and the scientists and all that is the fact that you kind of see how everybody works together to be able to defeat this menace, as I probably as it probably will happen in real life, right? I'm not saying exactly like we're seeing it in the game, but those are the departments that will probably be working together to be able to fight this threat, right? And how important each of them are. And something that is really interesting and maybe it's a little bit spoilery in a way, is the fact that, so when you start the game, right, you have the normal stuff that humans do, the assault rifles,
armor,
and bullets,
rifle,
armor, all that stuff, right? Then you get more stuff from the aliens, and you upgrade your stuff because you learn from the aliens, you dissect them, you create new metals and alloys from what they drop, stuff like that, right? So now you equip your humans with all this alien equipment. As you progress throughout the game, your guns start to look like the guns of the aliens. Your armor starts to look like the armor of the aliens, and you kind of start to seem like you're an alien. Like the humans evolve throughout the game and become the very thing that they're fighting. And again, I don't want to spoil the game completely, but that's the point of the aliens coming to Earth. And I really love that fact of how the story of the game is. And the story itself is kind of I mean, it's interesting, but that ending to me was really awesome because the point of the aliens coming to Earth, as I said, was to test humanity and to see if they could deal with them. For their own motives, I think that they were trying to kind of control humanity, and because in a way they felt humanity was capable of accomplishing much more than they were. And okay, so let me explain a little bit about how it happens. So eventually in the campaign, you learn that there's an alien, right, that control. And I'm explaining this because I love this. I love this aspect of the game. I really like that part of the story. But one of the aliens is a mind controller, right? He can control other aliens and even control your guys. I don't know if you guys.
Hive mind thing.
Yeah, like it was kind of one of the sectoids, but it was kind of like a bigger or higher version of the sectoid or something like that. Because I don't know if you remember that the sectoids could like link minds with another sectoid.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a better version of the sectoid that can control your soldiers and make them fight you. And they have like just stuff that they can do with your head. Like they just can kind of like destroy your mind or whatever. Once you capture one of them, you study them, and then you learn that humans could actually have that same power. And then you choose one of your guys, one of your soldiers, to be tested to see if they have like psychic abilities. So one of your soldiers kind of becomes a new breed of human after those tests. That soldier then has to go with with the team that you have, and then go fight in the main what you said, Jorge, at the beginning of the podcast or before the podcast, like the main ship of the aliens.
Yeah.
And when you traverse the main ship of the aliens, every time that you go to a new room, there are many rooms. You fight a different like the different versions of the aliens. So it's kind of a fight after fight after fight. And for example, you start with the sectoids, then you go to the Tin Men. Is how they're called, right?
Yeah, the one the dudes that look like Slender Man, but with like glasses and stuff. Like
So then you go with them. You go to the moderns.
So you hit like all the aliens that you fought during the entire campaign.
Everybody. And the thing is that every time that you go to a new room and you encounter them, like I don't know if it's the king or like the leader of the aliens, right? Is talking to you, to the guy that has the psionic power, and telling you why they created those aliens and how they're not good enough like you are. He's always complimenting you. He's telling you, damn, you're really awesome. Not like these aliens that we created that, look at them. They're really powerful, but they're really stupid. And then you kept going and kept going and kept going until the end that the leader kind of suspects that you're going to say, okay, so let's join together and let's conquer the galaxy or whatever, like the point of the game is. And then you, of course, don't do it and kill him. And I think that the main character, like the character that you give the power to, has to sacrifice himself or herself to kind of save humanity from the alien threat or whatever. And I really love that idea because it not only kind of played with the idea of the aliens are coming to destroy us, right? So they're not really coming to destroy us. They're kind of testing us to see if we are what they think we are. Because if they did destroy us, they would just go to another planet and test the same thing on our race. But with us, they're trying to see if we're as awesome as they think we are. And we get to the point that we're just as the aliens are. And our humanity gets to that point. Which I know that if something like that happened, humanity will kind of do that. Like they will upgrade to the point that they were almost indistinguishable from the aliens themselves. And I don't know, I really love the fact that like even though the story of the game is really simple until that point maybe, and I know that not necessarily everybody's gonna love that, but to me it shows that they really understood what the aliens were like they explained why the aliens attacked you, and they didn't bring all the big guns from the get-go. they start to go like testing you with different kinds of aliens as time progressed. And it not only explained the game, it explained the world, and it explained how you were evolving and the fact that they wanted you to evolve, and they let that happen in a way. And I don't know, it just felt really clever to me, the fact that these guys, like the guys that made the game, really loved the concept of what they were trying to build, really understand it. And yeah, like the game itself is really fun, but like everything kind of informs the idea that you're getting better, you're getting more advanced, but at the cost of your humanity in a way, right? And I know that's an interesting idea. Like the fact that they play with that is amazing to me. So, sorry if I spoiled the game for you guys, but that's
No, it's cool.
that's kind of what happened.
Thank you, because okay, this game kind of makes me feel a little bit racist because now I'm gonna take one. If that soldier has to sacrifice himself, I'm gonna take one of the countries that I really like have no affection towards and give that soldier the psychic ability.
No, but that's the thing.
Again, I'm not saying which country I'm using, but
no, but what I was gonna say that the cool part about that is that you can't choose who's the one that gets that. You can test every soldier that you have, and only one of them is gonna get it. It might be your rookie. So
better be my rookie.
But you understand, like it's really
I'm
amazing.
Sacrificing him. I'm gonna sacrifice the rookie. I'm not gonna.
What if it's Chris
Jericho?
I'm
not gonna give that game like my best shooter. No.
Jorge, what if it's Chris Jericho?
Chris Jericho will never die. No. No.
Well,
just like the song says,
there you go.
The alien will fall and drop by the walls of Jericho. Period. Period. It will never, ever,
somebody has to draw that.
Ever happen.
That's all they're doing. The walls of Jericho on an alien. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And just because of that, Gabriel, you just made the list. Okay, I don't have any more Jericho quotes. Anyway,
but yeah, I really love the game, as you can tell. But do you guys have something else that you wanted to mention? Like something?
Who was, in your opinion, who was like the worst alien ever? And when I mean worst, I mean like which alien did you go like, God, why do I have to fight this one?
So the first time I saw the disc thing, like I don't remember the name. The mechanic.
The disc thing. I think I know which one you're talking about.
The first time, so I played the game, and I think that's
it's a flying Roomba.
Yeah, so exactly, right? Like the first time I played the game, I remember that the game. So the game has like these difficulty spikes at many points. Like when they introduce the mutants, it's kind of early, honestly, in the game, and you kind of like they're really powerful, to be honest, at that point. So you need to kind of understand that you have to kind of progress as fast as you can, because the game is going to get harder and harder, right? But never has a difficulty spike felt that just unfair in a way than when I found that thing. I remember what happened, like vividly. I have my team, and to that point, I know that I shouldn't like cluster them together, but I'm fighting sectoids at that point. And I was like, okay, so it's no problem. I can destroy them. The flying Roomba, as you said.
It's a flying Roomba!
And I said, what is that?
It looks like a flying Roomba!
And I'm like, okay, so wow, they really didn't care about this character. Like they just created a flying disc. Okay, so sure. Again, I have no idea what this is. Nobody has told me what it is. I've never seen it before. The first time, it's turn like the turn of the thing comes, right. He opens up to reveal this just creepy
horrible machine
insect. Like a machine type thing that comes from the Roomba, as you said. And
it kind of looks like a
just
scorpion
to, screw with me, he does a thing where he throws grenades or like bombs to a certain area. And lucky me, it hits everybody that I have. He killed 3 guys
Oh
in that moment. Because to be fair, like I didn't know how powerful he was, so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna survive this, of course. After that, I closed the game. I just like powered off the TV, and then I just went to scream at a pillow. So you understand like what happens with that, right? Like that thing. I will always remember just for that moment. The moment I almost stopped playing the game, but then I went, no, it has to go down. And killing that alien, killing that Roomba, as you said, is so satisfying to me now. Like I relish when it comes. It's like let's do this. And in the next game, the next version, Jorge, that you should play, the Enmity Within, there you can make like mech soldiers, like just a robot, and fighting using a mech soldier to fight one of those Roombas. Oh, feels so awesome. Actually, in that game, the aliens also have their own mech aliens, so the mech battles between them are also amazing. But yeah, like that's an experience I will never forget about like with one of the aliens, and it's that thing. I don't even remember his name because I don't care what his name is. I just want to kill it. Yeah, I mean it's the Roomba, as you said. Yeah,
from now on it's the Roomba, the flying Roomba.
The flying Roomba. So, did you guys have any experience like that or something along those lines?
At least when I like first encountered I believe it was the sectoid commanders, and their ability to mind control. At that moment I had a setup of 2 snipers in the back, and then I'd have like 2 other guys a little bit more up front, and so I was doing a little bit of recon, and while still maintaining the snipers in the back. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that one of the snipers got mind controlled. They killed the other sniper, and then I believe tried attacking one of the ones that were doing recon, but missed, fortunately. But I think that other sniper was, pretty good sniper at the time. I was putting a lot of time and investing in that sniper, hoping to groom him into being amazing, but that was not his fate.
Well, was that the first time you met the commander?
Yeah, it was like one of the first times.
It's always the first time you experience a new one that it kicks your ass.
Yeah, for sure.
Always. Okay, I haven't fought that. I don't think that I ever got mind controlled, but Gabriel, I do vividly remember the freaking flying Roomba. Because I saw that thing. I'm thinking, okay, this thing cannot be this stupid. Like, no, this game has thrown me a lot of curves. Like, for example, the Thin Mans, they don't look so bad. You kill one, point blank range, poison.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, what the hell does this thing have up its sleeve? What is this thing? It can't just be a flying robot. And then all of a sudden, it transforms into like a freaking Decepticon dead scorpion thing.
Yeah.
And I go like, holy crap. Nope. No. I'm out.
Yeah.
But then, if you shoot it long enough, before it explodes, it goes back into, the Roomba form. So,
Yeah.
They basically have a Decepticon. But, my one was the freaking, I think it was the Chrysalid? The purple spider thing?
Yeah.
That makes zombies?
Yeah. Yep.
That holy crap thing, because it's not only is that thing bad, but those missions where you have to rescue as many survivors as you can, and it's always 20 survivors. You always get you always get like freaking 10 of those things in one of those missions. And of course, they don't go for the soldiers, they go for the survivors. So not only are you scrambling to kill those things, you're scrambling to save the survivors, and you're not only getting to fight those freaking purple spider things, you get to fight zombies.
Yep.
And screw that difficulty spike. Screw that spike. I hate that spike. I hate that spider.
Yeah.
I hate spiders in general. And then you give me a purple freaking spider that makes zombies.
And
why? Why do I love this game so much?
Yeah. I agree. Like when they introduced the terror missions, I also died a lot of like many of the soldiers died from those things, and like it's not like the makers of this game really want to make you understand that your soldier died a really painful death.
Yes.
Because when they die, they show you how they're dying, and those things really kill you. like they don't pull any punches.
Nope.
And
they destroy your face fully. Like, it doesn't matter what hits you. Like, you get completely disfigured.
You're dead. Like you know that there's no way you can revive that character. Like,
even if you have a medic, you can't revive that.
No.
Or hell, maybe you can stabilize that character, but then right after you stabilize it, it gets killed again.
No, I actually think that if those, like the chrysalids is you said, right? Like, the name?
Chrysalids, I think.
Yeah,
the purple spiders. The purple spiders.
The purple spiders. Like if they kill you, is you're dead, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think. And I don't know if they can turn your character into a zombie.
A zombie?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh Christ! I don't remember if they did.
No, I don't remember either. But yeah, I remember the terror missions. I was like, okay, so, and the sad thing is that you have to let the survivors die. you should kill them before they kill everybody. But if the survivor dies, you have to be like, okay, I'm prepared to lose the survivors before I lose my soldiers.
Yeah, survivor doesn't get, and you go like, well, guess I'm fighting a zombie now.
Exactly.
Oh God, this game.
So.
But that's also
so sad,
that's also another cool thing that you get like different types of missions. That you get like rescue survivor, escorts. You get to like capture the enemy, or like capture this power cell thing. So like that's also kind of cool that like they give you the options. Well, they don't give you the option. They just set you in like.
Exactly, but they have a variety of missions for you to choose from.
Exactly. So it's not just okay. Let's kill the alien. It's not just that. It's
and we haven't even mentioned the missions where you fight other humans. I don't know if you had those.
The Exalt?
Yeah.
I'm not. I think that's. I'm not sure if that was from enemy within.
I think they mentioned
specifics.
it in XCOM, like the first one, but yeah, like the actual missions you do in enemy within. But it's what you said, like just different types of missions. You need a spy. You need to deploy the spy and then save him. I don't know if you if you didn't play them, Jorge. The really difficult part about that is that your spy only has his pistol. That's the only thing he can fight with.
Of course,
of course, because you're not already like handicapped enough as it is,
and you're in the middle of the you're far away from your team, so you have to kind of keep them defended while trying to get to your team, then trying to get your team to them, and then the bad guys kind of are already almost right up in this in the spice griddle, I mean, you have to play it. You haven't played it, you have to play it, because it's just really exhilarating to be able to win those fights. But yeah, we're basically past the limit at this point. But do you have any closing arguments, guys? Like something else that you want to mention about the game that you really loved, Carlo, like you first, like, is there something else that you want to mention, or just in general, like, why do you love the game?
I mean, in general, I just like the whole building up to each character's their stats and whatnot. They're giving them abilities. Also, as I mentioned before, the level designs, all the strategic possibilities that you could implement within the game that could work or could not work.
Yeah.
It was like usually, at least for the most part, the right amount of challenging.
Yeah.
Which I really loved about the game. Although there were moments of frustration, like the 99% chance of killing an alien, and it ended up not working out. Then they just killed me. But yeah, I really like to try XCOM 2 or Enemy Within.
I've heard great things from that.
Yeah, same here. So
you should play both. You should play.
Looking forward to.
We should play. In fact, after this, I'm probably gonna play XCOM. But yeah, Jorge,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Jorge, do you have anything else to say?
Okay, I think that my frustration with this game, I think I can finally understand the Dark Souls guys. I think I get you. I still don't want to touch Dark Souls whatsoever because it's gonna kick my ass so much more, I think. But first of all, Gabriel, I love you for suggesting this game. I also hate you at the same time. Why do I love this game that just it's not a healthy relationship, man. I need help. But
it's the perfect love-hate relationship.
No, it's not. It ends up with me in a corner crying so often,
and then coming back for more.
It's like I don't even know my own safe word. I forgot my safe word. Like it just keeps thanking me.
Okay, so we're gonna end.
But all kidding aside, like this game is freaking amazing. If it came at a perfect time where like all games in the market were just like action games, which aren't bad, which are fun and they're great, but it's been a while since there was a game that just made you sit down, calm down, think it through, plan ahead, use your brain. God gave you a brain, use it. Like just be smart. Like, and I like that game because it's challenging in such a completely different way. It's not challenging in the sense that you need to like press this button fast enough or like Dutch roll or anything like no. It's challenging in that you need to survey the terrain, survey your soldiers, survey the enemy, survey your resources. Like it's just such a mind-boggling experience, and like it came in the PlayStation 3 when there weren't that many games like that I'm aware of. So it's basically making a statement that genre of gaming is not dead. And I can only hope that with the PlayStation 4 and then with future gaming consoles, like more games like XCOM will be developed, like more strategy game, more thinking throughs will be developed. Because Christ, I love this game as much as it spanked me in the past.
I mean, before people tell us like, what? There are many of those games. Again, to us, like we're not necessarily
that I was aware of.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe there are a lot of those, but like after Tactics, I almost feel like I didn't have that experience until XCOM. So that's a lot of time.
Same. Yeah. Tactics was my last like strategy game that I play. Like after that is all action or first-person shooters or
just like normal RPGs. But yeah.
And then XCOM came into my life, and it just. Yeah, that's all I can say. That audible sigh. That's all I can say about that game.
Well, I think we covered a lot of things. I really enjoyed talking to you guys about it. So if you're listening and you haven't played the game, you should go play it. Like right now, like stop watching, stop listening, and just go get it or buy it in Amazon or something, or Steam or whatever you can get it.
No.
What?
Buy the game and play this while you're playing the game. Keep listening to us while you're playing the game.
Sure.
You gotta keep plugging your franchise, man.
Well, I guess. So anyway, I'm gonna put like links in the description where you can get it if you don't know. But probably if you type XCOM, you're gonna know where you're gonna get it or where you can get it, I guess. But thank you guys. Thank you for talking to me, Jorge, Carlo.
Of course.
Yeah.
You should try the game again and get just beat the game and name them other things. Like I remember that I had a playthrough where I basically created all the cast of Lost. Those were the soldiers.
Oh God.
Yeah, I had everybody.
I'm not gonna go there with you. That's another conversation. Yeah.
But it's just fun. It's just fun to do. Like each playthrough, I just choose another top or team and go with that. I'm probably gonna do what you did, or I'm gonna probably create like wrestlers and make the Rock a mech soldier or something.
Hey man, Canada, I named a Canadian soldier after Bret Hart. Please love me when I go visit.
Well, let's see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for listening. Also, let us know what you like about the game and what things that we missed or what things that you like that we didn't like. Like if you like the 99% thing, you're a monster. But we'll take you in no matter what. We're gonna listen to you guys. And anyway, just let us know why you love XCOM. And yeah, we'll see you next time for the next episode. Thank you guys, and see you later.
Later, guys.
Later.